White fabric is one of the most beautiful and most demanding materials in textile manufacturing. Elegant and timeless, it highlights even the smallest imperfection. In mass production, keeping white textiles clean, bright, and flawless requires more than good machinery. It takes discipline, cleanliness, and deep respect for the process. The journey begins with fabric storage. White fabric must be stored in clean, sealed packaging, away from dust, moisture, and sunlight. Some factories use covered shelves and UV-filtered lighting to preserve brightness and avoid yellowing. Importantly, white rolls are stored separately from darker fabrics to prevent dye transfer. It's a simple rule, but essential. Before any cutting or sewing begins, the production area is cleaned thoroughly. Cutting tables, machines, and workstations are wiped down with lint-free cloths. Workers wear clean, light-colored uniforms. Pens and permanent markers are banned. Hands must be washed regularly. Every tool, from scissors to thread, is checked to ensure it's clean and safe for use on white fabric. To reduce contamination, white fabrics are processed on dedicated production lines or shifts. That means machines, tables, and teams are used exclusively for white or light-colored garments during those times. This separation helps prevent accidents, like stray threads or residue from previous runs. It also encourages focus, because everyone knows they're working with a material that demands extra care. Sewing white fabric requires a gentle touch and sharp eyes. Threads must be perfectly matched and free from dust or discoloration. Needles are replaced frequently. Bright lighting helps workers spot even the tiniest flaw. White fabric is never dragged across surfaces. It's folded carefully, handled gently, and often touched with gloved hands, especially during the final stages. The goal is simple: keep every inch of the fabric as perfect as when it arrived. Quality checks are frequent and detailed. Each garment is inspected by both line workers and a dedicated QC team. We look for stains, smudges, stray threads, and anything that might affect the garment's appearance. For white items, they also use UV lights to detect hidden oils or marks that could cause yellowing later. If there's any doubt, the piece is set aside because white leaves no room for compromise. Once approved, the garment is ready for packing. But the work isn't over yet. Workers wear gloves and packing tables are covered in white cloth or paper. Each piece is folded gently and placed in a clean poly bag. They often add desiccant packets to protect against moisture, and they use only new, dust-free boxes for shipping. Every box is labeled, "Handle with care, white fabric inside," because by this stage the product may look simple, but it carries the result of great effort. Handling white fabric is more than a technical task. It's a culture. It teaches awareness, teamwork, and pride. Workers know that a single fingerprint can ruin hours of work. That mindset leads to better habits, not just for white fabric, but for everything they do. Treat white fabric like skin. It remembers everything. And it's true. White fabric tells a story of how it was handled, with care or with carelessness. In mass production, the clean look of white fabric is the result of invisible work. Cleaning, checking, handling, and repeating. It's slow work sometimes, but it's the kind of discipline that builds great products. Because when a white garment reaches the customer in perfect condition, it reflects not just good craftsmanship, but a promise that we take every detail seriously.